Crisis averted. Don't you love that? Like you're hanging out for like an hour and a half doing nothing, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute. I hate that. And you're like, oh man, really? That's how it always happens, though. Got your reserved seat right there. There you go. Absolutely. Yeah, sure. Not yet. How you doing? All right. Got it. Actually, three's good. Thank you. That's the name I just told you. Thank you. I was like, don't ask me difficult questions. Yes, I do. Lazana Baines. It'll be just coach. Yep. How you guys doing? All right. Joining us from DePaul, head coach Doug Bruno. We'll begin with an opening statement followed by questions. Please state your name and affiliation before your questions. Coach.
This has been a great young group of women to be around all year long. They've just been a great group, and it's been a joy to be with them every day and a joy to coach them. And at the same time, they keep score for a reason. It's a competition. We play to have the score on our side and not on the other team's side. Seton Hall did a great job of taking it to us and beating us tonight. And I think the two teams are very evenly matched, and they got out in front of us. I really believe the best way to have a chance to beat them was to zone them. We went to zone. We went a couple different kinds of zones. We still gave up too many threes, too many open looks from the perimeter, and just because I just thought we needed to do a better job of limiting the threes. We didn't. So we turned this into a three-for-all, and they made the most of it.
Questions, wait for the microphone. Right here. Then we'll go back here.
Ryan Henry, WSO. Oh, sorry. Let me cut you off. You go, sorry.
Hi, Coach. It's Brad Lake from WNBA Swish. What was Seton Hall doing disruptive that kept your three-point shooting at bay, and also your ability to go on more runs?
You know, Tony does a good job of taking away your threes, taking away your layups, and they just did it. I mean, what did they do? They played good, solid, straight man-to-man defense, and we had to do a better job to get open against them, and we tried to run some different things throughout the day, but we just weren't able to get open. They did a great job of taking it to us defensively. When we did have some opportunities inside, and I don't think we made a very good showing in and around the basket either. We did have some open looks at the rim that we did not capitalize on. Nor did we get to the foul line when we got the ball to the block.
Right here.
Ryan Henry, 89.5 FM, WSU. Can you talk about your team's performance that you were able to keep this game so close and keep it so contested, even with Anaya and Jory not having their best games of the season?
Well, this is, I mean, we have a really collectively good group of young women here, and it's Anaya and Jory are our two lead go-to players, and at the same time, Kate Gilbert and Jade Edwards is starting to find some health here. So there are some other people out there that can score the ball and can make some kind of plays happen. So I just think, I think we've been able to be more than just the Jory and Anaya show all year. And so I really do think there's more people that can score than just those two. They got in foul trouble, and that was not good for us tonight either.
Right here in the front.
Hey, Coach, it's T. Baker with the Next Hoops. Tomorrow, your program's going to be honoring Kara Smith as a Big East legend. So wondering if you could just talk about her impact on the program and why she was selected.
Wow, that's a great, great way to get my head off it tonight, because Kyra is just such a great young woman for us. And, you know, Kyra came here from Proviso West High School, a suburban school on the west side of Chicago. I don't know if many people understand, but Kyra's dad is Kenny Norman from the NBA. So, you know, Kyra does have a lineage, and I recruited Kenny hard to come play for us on the men's side at Loyola Chicago. He rejected us and went with Coach Henson down at Illinois. But we got to know Kenny very well, and then Kyra was just a great recruit for us, and just a tremendous all-around human being. I mean, she's a great student. She was a motherly captain. She took care of her team very, very well and efficiently as a captain of our team. She had great vision. I mean, when you looked at her as an athlete, she didn't look the part of a great athlete, but she had great, great visual athleticism. She had great hands to catch anything that was thrown her. She was a great finisher around the basket, and just a great joy to be around for the time that we had her here. So when the question of who of all the players that have been with us, you know, there's been some really, really good players here, and Dwayne is in the office there, and Jill Hollenbeek, my bosses, and we kind of threw this around a little bit, but I mean, there were some really, really, really great players. Allie Quigley, you know, Diana Vines just went into our Hall of Fame. Not Hall of Fame, she's been on our Hall of Fame, just had her number put up at Wintrust Arena just last week. Diana Vines is the all-time leading scorer in the history of our program with 2,600 points, something like that. Allie Quigley. And Allie, you know, Allie kind of even was willing to defer to Kyra because Kyra came ahead of her. So Kyra really is the person that brought us into our NCAA tournament time, if you will. So there's just a lot of reasons why she should be recognized, but you know, that the run of tournaments that we got on there for a while, of about 18 of them, she was the leader of bringing that back together also. So just a great young woman and a great person to represent us, and I'm really just happy for her tomorrow. I'm thrilled for the Big East. The Big East is doing something like this because these young people that have laid the foundation for this league, both on the men's and women's side, definitely do need to be recognized.
Coach Anna Bellinghausen with the Big East Digital Network. In that fourth quarter, your team trailed by 15 points, but cut the lead down to 6. What does that just say about this team's fight that they've had all year long?
Yeah, you know, they are a great group of. They've been fighting all year long, and they have never given up. They will never give up. So they're a great group to coach because of that. And it's just, you know, as a coach, when you respond to that question, yes, you're really proud of them for not giving up and fighting back, but you also want to find the fight in them before we give up the lead so that the lead isn't given up also. So, I mean, it's a little bit of a double-edged answer. I mean, I'm happy that we fought back. I wish we would have done a few things differently, a little detailed things differently that would not have let Seton Hall have the lead. And again, when you study our two teams, we're very, very evenly matched. And so this is a very good Seton Hall team. Tony does a really good job. They're fighting for postseason, to play in the postseason, and so they have a lot to fight for. So do we. We have pride to fight for. And had we won tonight and got on a 3 or 4 game run here, then we still had a chance to get into postseason play had we put ourselves on a 3 or 4 game run here. But you can't get on a 4 game run, 3 game run, 2 game run without a 1 game run.
Pat Eaton-Robb with the Associated Press. Doug, these kind of questions always come at the end of the season, but how much longer do you want to do this, and how much does the portal and the NIL stuff play into your decision?
My wife hates the answer I'm going to give you, all right? And she's sitting in the crowd, so she's going to have to listen to it, all right? I'm doing this until I get whacked either by the big guy or the little guy. The big guy's the guy in the sky, and the little guy's standing in the back of the room, all right? That means Dwayne's not a little guy, but the athletic director, Paul, does have to take a second to the big guy called God. So either God's going to whack me or Dwayne's going to whack me, and then I'm going to be done, all right? So that's how long I want to do this, all right? I love doing this. I really, it's not been an easy year for any of us. At the same time, it makes you want to start tomorrow. I mean, you really want to find, and I'm getting to the second part of your question. People my age that have done this long, this is my 50th year coaching, all right? My 51st year of work since I graduated from DePaul in '73, but I'm proud to say I'm one of those guys in America that started working when I was 10, all right? But my 50th first year of work, my 50th post-DePaul University. So, okay, why do you want to keep doing this? Because some people that have done this long don't want any part of NIL and don't want any part of the transfer portal non-sit-out rules. I want to fight to see to beat it. We've fought through a lot of different things in our life here at DePaul and coaching women, and I want to see if we can fight. You hate the I word in team. You always want to use the we word, never the I word. But because you're asking me about me, I'm going to use the I word. I want to see if I can't beat NIL, beat the transfer portal, and outcompete it and put DePaul back where we were just a few short years ago. And we got whacked by COVID. Everybody did, but we got whacked a little bit more than other people. But get us back to where we were. So that's what is in my innards to want to keep this going and why I want to keep it going. There's you have to know why you coach. There's 3 reasons I love to coach, all right? Number 1, the relationships, all right? You develop great relationships with your bosses, with your coaching staff, and with your players. Even though right now it's a tough love spot with me and my players at this moment, you do love your players, the relationships. I love to teach, and this is a great, basketball and coaching is a great opportunity to teach. And then thirdly, I love to compete, all right? So that's why, and you have to know why. Every coach has got to know why they do this. And those are the 3 reasons why I love to do this: relationships, teaching, and the opportunity to compete and loving to compete. So that's why I'm doing it. And again, I'm an old guy, but I'm not an old guy. I mean, I have more fun than most of the people 25 years old. So.
Any other questions?
Thanks,
Coach.
Is there more? No?
No, you're all set. Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
Thanks
Appreciate
everybody for covering women's basketball. It means a lot to all of us, and it's a never-ending fight to get people to cover women's hoops, and it's a great year because I'm not trying to keep if Tony's around the corner, you can come on in here. What Caitlin Clark is doing for American women's basketball is awesome. But I think it's very important for the people watching women's hoops not to forget about this player called Paige Beckers, because Paige Beckers was Player of the Year just a couple years ago, and she's getting a little bit lost in the shuffle right now. But that's one really, really special player that we have playing for us right here in the Big East. So I'll just kind of leave you with that. We're blessed to have that great player in our league, and Caitlin doing what she's doing for the nation. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate you, man. I'm good, thank you. Thank you. I'll throw it underneath you. I'll put it underneath. Thank you. We'll make it work. How many? I don't know if there's that much room here. chair.
What are you doing? No, what? No, I'm good. They can sit. Go ahead, ladies, sit. I'm good. I like to stand.
Oh,
Marty's right here.
Okay, you gonna have her sit, you wanna stand?
Yep, I'm gonna stand. Good. You're gonna usually let them go anyway.
Coach, why don't you sit right here?
Sure.
We'll be okay, I'll stand. Opening statement from coach will be followed by questions for the student athletes, and then coach. Reminder, please state your name and affiliation before your question. Coach.
Thank you. And congratulations to DePaul, especially their seniors. They're wonderful young women and wonderful players. Obviously, I have the utmost respect for Coach Bruno and his staff. Hall of Famer and well-deserved Hall of Famer. And we knew they were going to come out with a lot of different wrinkles from when we played them a few days ago, and they did. You know, they played multiple different zones and pressed us and a lot of things. But, you know, I was really proud of our young ladies. They stayed the course. It's hard to win in the playoffs. It's really hard. And we had some great senior leadership by Azana and Amari, and some great freshman play by Savannah. And I was just really wanted this team to experience at least one and hopefully many more victories in the tournament, because I've said this numerous times, it's been my favorite group to coach in many, many years, because they're great people, first and foremost. They're excellent basketball players, but they're great people. And I wanted them to have this experience of, you know, putting the name up there and doing that, but continuing to see how their hard work has benefited them. It's been a hard year. This is only the second or third time all year we've played with our roster intact. So it's been a difficult year, and these girls have never complained. They've all fought through a myriad of injuries, and they came out with a well-deserved, hard victory today, and I'm very proud of them.
Questions for the student athletes?
Hi, ladies. It's Brad Lake from WNBA Swish. Is there a moment during the game that you all felt that your team chemistry was completely in sync? Was there times where you thought that you were kind of out of sync?
I would say coming out of the first timeout in the first half was when I feel like, you know, we were all together when we were in sync, and we knew what we wanted to do and what we were looking to accomplish out on the floor. And it was just it was a tight game pretty much the whole game, so I don't think we ever were doubtful in our capabilities or whatever we were looking to do. It was just we had to persevere a lot of the time.
Question, second row.
Ryan Johnston, WSOU. Azana, Savannah, congratulations on all conference
Thank you.
selections. What was your reaction like when you heard the news?
I was just real grateful because I know it's hard to do as a freshman, so I'm just taking it all in.
I was low-key surprised a little bit. That was something that I was really looking forward to, so the fact that I was able to accomplish that meant a lot to me.
I wasn't surprised. I mean, she's one of the best players in the league, one of the best players in the country, because she's worked really hard. I mean, she represents our country in the 3-on-3, but she represents Seton Hall in ways that stats or words never can be measured. I mean, she's a tremendous student athlete and even a better person. So when she won first team, it was super well-deserved and, more importantly, earned by her.
Question in the front row.
This is T. Baker with the next Zana. Just wondering how you feel you've developed as a leader in your 2 years at Seton Hall, especially this year with so many newcomers coming in and kind of taking that leadership role.
Really having to step into this leadership role this year, it was very new for me. And my coaches and my staff, you know, they challenged me every day to, you know, be that vocal leader and be the one to get my team to come together so that we can accomplish the things that we've accomplished and the things we're going to continue to accomplish. But it's something that I took pride in. It wasn't a challenge that I shied away from or that I didn't think I was capable of doing. And I think it's just been preparing me for this next step, this next phase that I'm going to go into once, you know, the season is over.
Any other questions for the student athletes?
Pam Roker, Big East Digital. Question for the point guard, Amari. running the show, you saw a lot of zone defense today, a little bit different look out of DePaul. Talk to us about the way you were able to distribute the basketball. 5 assists for you, but we had 3 players in double figures, 25 points. I'm sorry, 4 players in double figures, 25 points off the bench. So what was it look like when you faced that zone?
Even though they really don't run zone, we prepare for it in practice and in shoot around, so we were all comfortable. So when the coaches were to call to play, we knew where we were supposed to be at in the zone. So we just worked on it, and you saw today, it flowed really nicely.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Ladies, thank you. We'll let you get back to the locker room.
Yep.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you go. Now they know who you are.
Yeah, perfect.
Question for Coach right here.
Hey, Coach T. Baker with the Next. Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Wondering if you could speak a little bit about tomorrow's Big East Legends ceremony and the school's decision to honor Jody Brooks and what she meant for the program.
I'm so happy you asked me that question. I've really become good friends with Jody Brooks, and not because, just I saw at some event that she was honored or something like that. Is that me? Oh.
I don't know.
Not because of some event she was honored, but because she comes to our games and supports our program. And when I first took over, she was at our press conference, and she was one of the first people that came up to me and said, anything I can do, please do. She's also a lover of animals, on a side note, which I am as well, owning her own animal sanctuary. I think, Seton Hall has had some great players through the years, from Robin Cunningham to, Geraldine Santellis. But, when you're going to start, you start at the top. And Jody Brooks not only was a great player statistically, but she led us to the Sweet 16 and then the NCAA tournament as well. And she's spoken to our team, not this team, but other teams numerous times, and really been a great mentor for them. And I'm really just thankful that Seton Hall, but more importantly, the Big East is honoring Jody, because it's a well-deserved honor. Thank you.
Second row.
Brian Henderson, WSOU. Coach, you guys drew, it seemed like, so many offensive fouls today, including a couple big ones on Peoples. When you have so many talented defenders on your roster, is that something that you work on in practice?
Well, we have worked on defense a lot this year, because that was a big mistake I made in the past few years with our talented team. We didn't stress defense enough, and that was one of the adjustments we made this summer, and the staff's done a great job of helping implement it, and I've made it a focus for our program. But then you have people like Savannah Catalan. I mean, you look at Asia Davis stepped in. She's not had the year statistically that she wanted, but we don't win the game today without Asia Davis. She made great rebounds. She had 3 assists. She took a charge. I mean, that's a real team player. I mean, she didn't pout because she didn't have the year she had. She helped us win. But again, it was her defense that helped us win. Her rebounding, her taking a charge. Savannah is the best I've ever coached at taking charges. Amari's the best on-ball defender that I've coached. And, the other kids really stepped up as a team, and it was really important. As you see, we could foul Peoples out of the game on an offensive foul. That was huge.
Front row.
Hi, Coach. It's Bradley from WNBA Swish. You are facing Creighton tomorrow. What do you feel that your team is going to need to do to slow down their explosive offense?
Yeah, Creighton's a great team, and it's kind of new for us. We haven't played them since last year. The year before. The year before. The year before that too. I mean, geez, I mean, this is getting a little repetitive, but you know what it means? It means that we have a good basketball team too, because Creighton's one of the best teams in the country. And what's ironic? We're playing the same team with basically the same players. So I mean, that makes it even different for these kids. It's been a change. So, it's a testament to Creighton that they've evolved, because we started this with us being a better seed. Now they are. We've had 2 all-time classic games the last 2 years. Even the year before, they basically knocked us out of the NCAA tournament. So, we have so much respect for them. Coach Flannery is a brilliant coach, but, his staff does a great job as well. And Morgan and Ronsniak and, Jensen and Morganson. I mean, they all know how to win. They all know how to play. Fortunately, we just played them the other day. So from a scouting standpoint, it's not like we forgot about them. Not that we ever could. But we know it's a great challenge. I mean, we're going to have to play a game. And can we? Yes, because we have this year a few times and we have in the past. But we know it's a tremendous challenge. But for us, just the experience of playing the 7 o'clock game on championship weekend, I mean, that's worth a lot. I mean, that's why I don't want to go off, but kids and people don't understand in the program how important a win this was. We have 2 tremendous young guards, Micah Gray and Savannah Catalan. We have, great kids coming in. We have other kids still in this program that are going to experience walking on the court at 7 o'clock in the prime time spot in the Big East playoffs. Like, you can't measure that for experience. You can't measure that for excitement. You can't measure that for anything. And that, as we continue to build and grow this program, is important. Like I said, this is a really good team. We have 17 wins. We've beaten some great teams. We've lost a lot of games, and we've played shorthanded. So for all these kids to finally be able to play together and step on that floor and feel like this is the varsity game. Tomorrow at 7 is a varsity game. And, it's going to be a great opportunity. I'm excited. For me, I'm old, but for them, this is fun. This is what it's supposed to be, and I'm looking forward to seeing us. And I will tell you, we will play very hard, and I do believe we will play well tomorrow. I do.
Coach Ryan Henry, WSOU. Micah Gray, you mentioned her, one of the young guards, had a nice performance. Start off the game really hot, 8 points in the first quarter, and then hit that huge buzzer beater 3-pointer in the third to make it a 9-point game, had a couple points in the fourth as well. Can you talk about her performance and getting back on track, especially in a big game like this?
Yeah, well, our staff works very hard with her, specifically, Dee Dee and Cassandra. And she comes in every morning, 7:30 a.m., and shoots. She shot terribly in the past couple of games, and she didn't let it affect her. She's a confident kid who works really hard, who's going to be an all-conference player, high-end in this league for the next 2 years because of her work ethic. And, I was really happy to see her make shots, yes, for the team and all that. But for her, because it shows her coming in every day at 7:30. We had optional shooting yesterday. She was there. That's who she is. She's been raised the right way. She's raised amazingly by parents that make her be accountable, hold her accountable. And that's why I'm so excited for her, not just for tomorrow, hopefully other days this week, but also for the future.
Carl.
Hi, Tony. Carl Adamek, Journal-Inquirer. You know where I'm going with my question, obviously. You're looking at the stats. Shaylin Pinckney hasn't had the year you probably hoped for. Could you describe her sophomore year? What do you hope, maybe tomorrow, maybe as you go forward, what you want to see from her, and even if you can talk about next season, even though there's still a lot more to play?
No, and I'm happy you asked about Shay, because I love her, and I had a good 30-minute conversation with her the other day about how important she is to this team, yes, now, but in the future. And I just, I said, I want you to know you're a super important part of this program, and I want you to be here. She's like, well, I want to be here too, and I'm going to be here. And that was really important. She gave us 3-4 minutes today. I know it doesn't sound like much, but those were important minutes. She was, dynamic. She gave an offensive rebound. She played hard. She's just, behind a lot of seniors this year. And in the past, we didn't have someone to play a position that she played last year. And, so she stepped in and really helped us win. But this year's team had a couple seniors at that position, but I'll be honest, we're not recruiting her position. We're excited for her, and I think she's going to have a huge impact. I mean, we have a kid at Providence, Grace Afosa, who is a tremendous player, I think, borderline all-conference player, and, averaged 2 points a game and plays very much similar to Shay her first 2 years. And I think Shay has had even a little more success than that, and I think you're going to see a dynamic player next year. And I'll tell you, when we win game next year, she'll be sitting here. You're welcome.
Second row.
Hi, Coach.
Hello.
Congrats on the win. Ciara with MTMV Sports. You always speak about you and your team being a family. So what is it like, being a team on and off the court prepares you for moments like this?
And it's great to see you, and I love your podcast.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I will tell you, and I said this before, it's a great team, and it is. And we don't win today if we're not a team, because look at what the bench support did. Ayanna Lopes came in, played tremendous energy, Asia Davis gave us tremendous energy. Brazil Harvey Carr was fantastic for us, both on the offensive and defensive end. Obviously, Shea gave us those big minutes. You know, obviously, it wasn't a day for McKenna, but I wouldn't be shocked if McKenna played really well tomorrow. And it's a family because these kids are supporting each other. Yes, they all want to play, and they probably get a little upset with me at times, but they've stayed together as a family. And if we didn't, we don't win this game today. We don't win at Providence, which, you know, put us in an opportunity to play in the postseason. And, you know, this team is a postseason team. You know, I'd love to see us obviously win and go to the NCAA tournament, but we've earned our right now, especially with another win today against the top 100 team, of playing in the postseason. So I was very proud of these kids.
Question right here.
Coach Ryan Johnson, WSOU. 21 assists for the team today, 4 players in double figures. How nice was it to see your team sharing the ball like that?
You know how I feel about WSOU radio. I think it's the top student-run radio station in the country. I do. And I would say it if these young gentlemen weren't here, if John Fanton wasn't here, they're the best because they do their homework and they ask intelligent, pertinent questions. And that's a great question you asked because you're welcome. Because yes, we worked this week on good pass, good shot, great shot. Good shot, great shot. And Coach Rabinowitz, who runs our offense, you know, did that drill the other day, and I turned to him like, that's what we need. And the 21 assists showed what? Good shot, but great shot. So we made the extra pass. We shared the ball. All those things were a big feature this week. And we did it, and I'm so proud of the kids, and I'm so thankful you noticed that. Because 21 assists on 24 baskets, if we're going to win tomorrow, we're going to need that type of sharing the ball. Thank you.
Brian Henderson, WSAU. You guys had 44 rebounds today, out-rebounded DePaul by 7. I know you've talked about the importance of rebounding in the past, and especially going into this Creighton game when you have so many talented rebounders in Creighton. What can you use in this game to kind of transfer over to tomorrow to out-rebound them as well?
Well, the effort was tremendous, and we were up, 24-13 at the half, and I was disappointed that we really let Jory Allen, you know, manhandle us. But you have to understand, Jory Allen's a really good player. Like, a lot of times coaches were like, you got to box her out, you got to do this, you got to do that. Well, you know, maybe she's just really good, and it's really hard to box her out, and it's really hard to beat a senior who's put her blood, sweat, and tears in for 5 years and came off a knee injury and just keeps playing and working and stuff. And I have so much respect for her. And you know what? It was hard to box her out. But that's why, you know, this kid couldn't do it. This kid couldn't do it. This kid in Asia's like, I got it. And in the huddle, she's like, I got it. And she did. And that was a thing that we're going to have to get tomorrow. Because if Creighton gets second and third chances, we all know they're going to have to threes, and it's going to be a big problem. And then we've got to get some offensive rebounds so they have to at least stay put and don't run to the other end.
Any other questions?
Thank you very much.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.